After the wild success achieved by the Five Nights at Freddy's game series, it was only a matter of time before it got adapted to a film. However, few were expecting it to take nearly as long as it did, including the filmmakers.
Hit it, guys!
Blumhouse Productions has had the rights to Scott Cawthon's ridiculously popular gaming franchise, Five Nights at Freddy's, since 2017, but the road to the silver screen has been difficult. Harry Potter director Chris Columbus was originally slated to direct the film, but was eventually replaced by Emma Tammy after he exited the project. Then there was the controversy surrounding Cawthon's political donation history, which caused him to retire from the Five Nights at Freddy's game franchise altogether. Despite these complications, the film was already in production, so producer Jason Blum had no choice but to see it through to the end. According to IGN, even members of Blum's own company were unsure he could pull off making the film. But he persevered, despite the roadblocks and challenges. With Five Nights at Freddy's just a few months away, we'll soon discover if the challenge, which included writing an entirely new script, was overcome. The premise of the original Five Nights at Freddy's game is relatively simple, with players taking on the role of a night guard at the famed pizzeria and watching security cameras to try and quell any dangerous activity from possessed animatronics. By putting the player in the proverbial driver's seat, the game can generate big scares and high tension due to the player's direct engagement with frightening situations. As scary as horror movies can be, there's a safe distance between the viewer and the screen. That line gets blurred with horror video games, because the player takes an active role in the story's direction. For any filmmaker, finding a way to make that intimate relationship with horror from the games translate to the screen would be no easy task. According to Variety, Scott Cawthon has been pretty transparent with fans of the games regarding the delays with filming. He's even shouldered some of the blame himself, writing in a fan forum, "Okay guys, I had a script written. Jason liked it, and Chris Columbus liked it too, but I tossed it. I had a different idea for it, one that I liked better. I take responsibility for this delay, it's my fault." Cawthon is acutely aware of how long fans have been waiting for the film, but wanted to ensure that the final product would be worth the wait. Understandably, the filmmakers are under a lot of pressure to do right by Five Nights at Freddy's passionate fan base, so there was no way anyone on the creative team was going to phone it in. Five Nights at Freddy's needs to be able to stand tall alongside the nearly decade-old phenomenon the original game has become, and it certainly hasn't been easy. Scott Cawthon's initial version of the screenplay getting scrapped for not fitting the vision for the project is certainly a major part of why the film adaptation of Five Nights at Freddy's has taken so long. But it's also had a domino effect across the entire production. After all films begin with a script. Fortunately, Jason Blum and company have seemingly figured out how to make it work. Based on what we've already seen from the trailers, the film will incorporate story elements from across the franchise, rather than exclusively follow the plot of the original game. Blum told IGN, "It was many, many, many years of development. I've grown to know Scott very well over that time. We had to find a structure that would work for us to make this movie together." Finding that structure took years, but by all accounts, it sounds like the film will have been worth the wait. Blum went on to elaborate that he has the utmost confidence in the finished product, and that he's thrilled to finally have the film out in the world.
We're going to have so much fun together.
All signs point to a stellar adaptation, and if all goes well, there are plenty of brutal moments in the games to put on screen in future movies. Five Nights at Freddy's will arrive in theaters and begin streaming on Peacock on October 27, 2023.